So it's been several months since I did an update on my 106 PDL. I figured I'd go ahead and show some mods that I did, and most recently some rod holder modifications. Before I talk about the rod holders, we'll go ahead and start from the front. I recently added a anchor wizard onto it with an anchor. This is kind of overkill, but as far as anchor, it's I think it's a 6-pounder. A lot of people use 3-pounders. I don't know, maybe it is a 3-pounder. I don't know, I can't remember. It's a pretty good size anchor, but I did the old anchor trolley, you know, on several kayaks before, but this good old anchor wizard. But I went ahead and track mounted this, and instead of, I like to use my tracks, and I've got several things on the tracks, so I was really worried about taking up too much track space. So what I did was, on the original track sunken screw, I went ahead and replaced it, pulled that out and bolted it down with a bolt and a nut backing it on the inside. And then this is just a regular T in the track. So I've got it scooted up as far forward as I can, still saving me space for my rod holders and my power. Well, my batteries aren't hooked up right yet. So that was one modification that I did. The second one was I went ahead and put a Yak Attack. I don't even know what they're called. The quick mounts on here with my GoPro. I normally use it on the side with the glued in shoe, but I wanted to try this, and we'll see. Right now I'm not sure if it's going to get in the way with my net, because now my net don't go all the way forward, so we'll have to test that one out. And then the major modification, kind of the reason for this video, is rod holders. So the one bad downside of the 106 PDL compared to my Outback is capacity to hold rods. My Hobie Outback, man, I could put, good grief, I think I can put over a dozen poles on my Outback if I wanted to. I've got more pole holders than I've ever used, for sure, because you've got them on the sides and the front and back and everywhere else. Excuse me. But on the PDL, you've only got 3, with not counting the crate. You've got 2 in the rear, and then you got a forward-facing one over there. And I put caps in there because I hate when they fill up with the rain. But these are just PVC caps. You pull them out. This is a forward-facing one, and then you got rear-facing ones. Well, the rear-facing ones are angled, so they stick out at an angle a little bit. And then what I would find is, when I bought this crate, the crate comes with 4 rod holders, 2 on each side. And I would have my rod holder, my rods in my rod holders, the 4. I'm trying to do this with a low ceiling here. But I would put my poles in here, right? And originally I'd have 4 poles in here. And then I would have 2 on the side, but they were sticking out. And they would stick out like this. And I'm going to put a clip in here, just on a recent trip, that this became an issue. And what had happened was I got right up next to a deck overhanging some water at the lake. And one of my poles got hooked on that deck, and it yanked it right out of the pole holder. Did I just lose a pole? Oh, freaking cow, I did. Oh, freaking cow. So when I came home, I said, man, I got to do something with these pole holders to fix that because I don't like them sticking out. So I looked online and I found, they call them 90-degree pole holders. So basically what it does is the pole sticks up straight up and down. So I went ahead and bought them, yanked out the old pole holders. These are the old ones. So you can see when they went in, they go in at an angle. So they were sitting at an angle, but they were sticking out, if that makes sense. The original ones, I twisted them where the angle was running straight back this way. And when I did that, the rod come in the way of both of these reels of the other two poles. So it wasn't going to work. So I completely yanked them out, and then that's why I bought these 90 degrees. So now I have these poles that will sit up, straight up, however I want to set them, right? Even if I set the reel out this way, they're still almost straight up. See how it's almost straight up? I mean, granted, it's a little bit leaning, but if I was to turn my reel, it would go almost straight up. And definitely not overhanging like they used to be. And then, on top of that, I went ahead and bought 2 more extra tubes. Yak Gear Build-A-Crate tubes, I think these are. And they're not the exact tube as the Wilderness, but I went ahead and drilled a hole. The bottom went in, they've actually got a threaded hole in the bottom, but the top I had to drill through and mount them. So now I'm looking at, I can carry 8 rods if I wanted to. 6 is usually what my go-to in a day. A couple crappie rods and then several bass rods. But I can carry 8 now, which is a lot better. But that's pretty much the mods. I ran a power outlet, YakTac power outlet, and then I got it split into 2. And then I've got one that goes into a USB, and then the other one goes where it's split. One goes into a USB, and this is how my action cameras are powered. And then the other SAE cord runs into my light. So then I have a 360 light running and an action camera. And for this one, it's Tactacam fisheye. So another mod I did was add some lights inside the hull. I don't know. Yeah, you can see them now. But I added some orange lights underneath the seating area, and it kind of lights it up at night. Gives me a little bit of, there you go. But when I'm fishing at night, which I do often, between that light and the 360 stern, it kind of lights up the kayak. Let's see if I can get back a little bit away so you can see some of the light. There you go. And I think that is the last of my most recent mods that I've done. I just kind of wanted to show them the modification to the cart as well. The seal And I did do a video on this seal, and yes, it does work. So I left my truck out during a storm and it poured down rain. There was a couple drops of water in here, but that was it. Where before it would fill up an inch or two deep full of water. So this seal does work now to keep the water out, which I'm really happy for. But other than that, that's about it. She's served me well. 6 to, I don't know, 6 months, I think I've had it so far. Thanks for watching, and see you out in the water hopefully soon.